What's up, guys? And from the title of this video, you guys are probably going to be just as excited as I am. We are installing the Supercharger, at least the head unit, procharger kit on the Dodge Dakota RT 5.9 liter V8 Magnum. So we are going to finally get that done, and we have Jonathan here helping us.
Like always.
Hopefully you guys got him to 1,000 subscribers by now. If you didn't, I'm gonna link him again down in this description because he's helping us out. He's here for the whole build.
He has me here working on everything. He doesn't do anything. Look at his hands, they're clean.
But honestly, Jonathan's helped us. Like, he was the first one when I first brought this back. He was the first one here when we were pressure washing this. So he actually made the video when we were cleaning it. It was a farm truck, and now he's here when it's getting supercharged. So what the plan is for today is I'm going to be doing this build in a bunch of kind of like steps or series. So it's a pretty big job. It's not huge, not crazy, but I like to break it into chunks. That way it's easy for me, it's less stressful for me, and at the same time you guys can see how it works in phases. So first step of today is going to be installing and mounting the head unit. Because it's a used kit, the Supercharger itself is already mounted to the bracket. So this bracket with all the pulleys is already ready to go. Our coil pack's gonna go here. Those are some of the hardware. I think we might be missing a little bit. We're gonna find out. And then this is the bracket that mounts to the actual block on the engine. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a kind of black and white drawing that they give us. And that bracket is gonna go right where the coil pack and the stock tensioner is. And then the Supercharger is gonna be hanging out here. So that's our mission for today, is to mount the head unit. And after that, everything's just kind of fly along. So every supporting thing, whether it's intercooler piping and gauges and all that stuff, we'll get into that on the next series. So let's go ahead and start ripping some stuff off. So to start, we'll take off the tensioner, we can get rid of this coil pack, and we'll start unbolting all the stuff out of here, and then we can see what we're getting into. But first, we have a visitor. We got Jason with his 700 wheel horsepower supercharged Viper. Woo-wee. We got Jason here.
What's up, guys?
How much horsepower is this thing making?
681 to the wheels and about 619 torque.
Ay. So this thing is a monster. So he's got the Paxton supercharger kit, just fits nicely in there. This thing is insane. He's got this cool little plaque here that says all of the specs on it as well. Got some Toyo 888 R's on there, so it should hook. What size is the back? Like 355?
Stock is 355. Toyo doesn't make them, but so they're 345.
Oh, okay. Still got.
If you put them like right next to each other, they're actually the same diameter, and same size.
Right on. So we're gonna go for a ride in this thing and see what she's like. And this one's a limited edition. I think it's one of 51 of them.
Number 20 off the production line.
Ay. Well, let's see what she does. This is gonna be fun. Jonathan's gonna go for a ride in it. Here comes Jonathan. Let's see what his reaction is.
That thing is insane. Like, you need this.
I know.
You need one of these.
Isn't that crazy?
It puts you in your seat the whole time.
It's nuts. I don't even think he's fully getting on it either, because he's still getting used to it. Oh, really?
This is the fastest car now.
It's no joke, man.
The GTR was in.
And then it was like, all right,
I could hear you guys like the whole time.
we're backing out.
All right, so Jason is off. John's over there getting some footage. Let's get back. Jeez. Sounds so good. Let's get back to putting our supercharger on here. We need some boost. Okay, so first thing, we're gonna take this belt off, and this is gonna be the last time that we have the stock belt. And it was squeaky, so I'm not gonna miss it whatsoever. So there we go, stock belt is off. And now we can remove the tensioner, which is, it might be, I don't know, there's a bunch of bolts in here. So we'll remove the tensioner, which is held on by a few bolts, and the coil pack. So we removed the wire from the coil pack. We also removed the connection, which is, I just tucked it up out of the way over there. And there's 3 bolts holding this tensioner on. So this is a little bit tricky to get at, but we're just removing the 3 bolts that hold on this tensioner bracket, whatnot. And you kind of have to move the dipstick out of the way, because you'll see right there, we got to get a bolt out there, one here, and then one on the very bottom of this. So we're gonna get those 3 bolts out and get that tensioner out of there. Last bolt. It's not much room to work with, just so you guys are aware in here. But there's these 3 bolts that are 14 mil, and there you go. So there's the tensioner out on the bracket, and you can see the coil pack came with it.
It's really light,
So there's those 2 pieces, and that opens up the room where we can put our plate in and whatnot. So here we are, we're just putting the bolts in. I kind of had to find a little bit of hardware in our miscellaneous junk drawer, but we've managed to find one more 3/8 bolt. I'm hoping it's good. But yeah, there's 3 bolts that hold it to the block. If you guys can believe it, you kind of have to manipulate the dipstick tube a little bit around, but there's only 3 3/8 bolts that holds that big honking thing on there. But we're gonna get the brackets on there, and then we can put our other hardware on as well. Jonathan has the last bolt tight, so we got all 3 bolts, cross our fingers, tightened on there. And we can pretty much hang this. I gotta figure out how these spacer things work, but we got the spacers with our 3 bolts there, and we can pretty much hang the charger now.
Yeah. Always double check your bolts, never leave anything loose. It happens way too often. True. How do you know? All right, let's get that thing over there. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of sorting out on what we have. So let me show you guys what we got going on. So we got it on the floor, and you can see that we took off the compressor housing. We took it off kind of for 2 things. One, because it was pointing in a really weird direction. If you guys noticed before, it was sitting like something like this, which is like almost upside down. And it was actually this portion here, the outlet, is actually covering up the bolt. So it's actually supposed to sit somewhere over here. I don't know if somebody did it for shipping purposes, but it's supposed to be sitting somewhere in this direction, but we don't know exactly where it is yet. So we're going to leave it off. Another mystery too is we have these 2 2 1/4 inch spacers, but the other ones that we have are longer for some reason. So we have a longer one, and then I have a shorter one, and I don't know if somebody maybe cut this one or chopped it. Doesn't look like it, but for some reason we don't have 3 of the same, because there's 3 bolts that bolt to this, and they should all be the same size. So bit of a mystery there, but we'll figure this out in just a second here, and we'll get it installed. All right, so we're gonna hang it with just these 2, and hopefully that starts to solve the mystery on what those 2 are for, or we'll have to go digging through the instructions and see if somewhere else in the kit they need those 2 spacers. So let's hang it. Okay, so here's where we're at. We have the supercharger bolted, kind of. Actually, I shouldn't even say bolted, it's hanging. So we put the 2 bolts in, and I gotta figure out where these AC lines go, because they're kind of, I don't know, I think originally there was a bend here, and this one would sweep in through here, because they're still in our way a little bit. And this one looks like somebody leaned on it at one point, because there's a big kink here, and it's sitting way low. So this is the way this is gonna sit, and then we're gonna put that compressor housing so the outlet is facing over here, just kind of near the PCM a little bit. But we just threw the belt on just for fun. This belt's probably gonna need to be changed. It's looking a little tired, but at least it gives us an idea of how it's gonna look. Again, we just looked through the instructions again.
And I don't know why we have these additional spacers. I don't know, I can't give any good reason, but I'm missing one long one, so I can actually shorten one of them. So I'm gonna shorten one of them. I'm gonna compare it to this side, this one here, and I'll make it the same size as that, and then we'll put the bolts in, make it solid, put the cover on, and I don't know, we'll see how far we get today. Okay, so I went ahead and cut that one to make it the same length, and we'll go ahead and install this. So I think we should be able to get this installed and tightened down. We also have to put our compressor housing back on as well and tighten that down. Ooh, air tools are fun, but they're noisy. Not the best for filming. All right, we're getting her in here. Well, here it is, you guys. We got the supercharger installed. We got the bolts tight. She's on there, and we just flipped the belt on it temporarily, and this is how she looks. One of the things that we've been fighting with for the last, what, 45 minutes?
Probably, yeah, more.
Is bending the oil dipstick, the engine oil dipstick tube. So you have to manipulate it around. This is kind of where it landed, and it binds a little bit. So if you guys are gonna bend it, it's kind of difficult to bend in the right way, but this is where mine ended up, and you have to kind of manipulate it in and around and clear the coil pack. So we might end up bending it in a different place, but for now it's cleared. And this is pretty much it. We might also have to rotate the supercharger, the housing on it, because we're not too sure whether this is where it's gonna end up. We thought it was gonna be in the right spot, but then once we tightened the bracket, it kind of moved up towards PCM. So we might have to rotate it slightly, but that's pretty much it for now. The head unit's on, the belt is on. We didn't tighten the tension or anything, but at least it's on. We could almost start it if we put oil in it, but yeah, this is where we're at for now. Okay, so that's pretty much gonna do it for today. We still have to fill it with oil, still have to tighten the belt and continue everything else. I was debating filling it up with oil and starting it, but we're beat after working on this thing all day. So anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to Jonathan's channel. He's almost at 1,000, so let's help him get there, since he's always helping us wrench. Anyways, give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we're gonna be doing the whole entire build on this. And we also have something in store for that too, but I won't tell you just yet. You'll have to wait for another video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.